over how to cut wall trim, and it can be very difficult for a lot of people. The number one thing you're gonna need is tools that are gonna help you cut this. And you're definitely gonna need a measuring tape, a pen, and a chop saw that can cut at a 45-degree angle. You see how it gets set to a 45? And what I'm doing right now, when I start out, the first thing I did is I went upstairs in my bathroom and I drew a map of the entire bathroom. And there's my door, and I took distances from the door to the left, under the sink, and around. And you take exact measurements. If you got, say, your wallboard 33.5 minus 2 millimeters, you need to, I think those are millimeters, correct me if I'm wrong. You're gonna have to write that down, and what you see, I've called millimeters. I'm not that educated, but I can sure as hell put some trim in. Anyways, so I got, let me see, give you an example here. This part of the wall I'm actually doing right now, 84.5 minus 1 of those millimeters that I think is millimeters. So what you're doing is you're capturing the distance. A lot of people make the mistake, and after you cut your first 45 here, because you know that's how it's gonna go in, and you're gonna have to have some type of concept of how these things go together. So obviously this one was cut like that, but that's not a 45 for them to meet. If this was the opposite way, it would cut at a 45 and meet perfectly. But anyways, when you cut, you're cutting the distance of the wall. Remember that. The distance of the wall, not this distance here. So a lot of people will cut it backwards, because as long as you know that a 45 is gonna go into a corner, you would measure the distance from the wall to that. If it was 84.5, I would mark the 84.5 minus the 1 millimeter and cut a 45 inwards. Okay, so you're really gonna have to have that common sense to know that when this part of the wall here meets with this other piece, that you're gonna have a 45 on both of them, and it's not a door jamb where it's gonna be flat, or sometimes if a wall is a 30 or something, you're gonna have to put it at the 30. That's why you're gonna need this chop saw that can angle at what you wanna cut it at. I'm doing the 84.5. I'm gonna try to show you guys, 84.5. The first thing I'm gonna do, because it meets in a corner in this room, I'm going from here to here. So the first thing I did was chop this piece right here flat, a 45, I'm sorry. I put a 45 on the edge when I started. So we're going 84.5 minus the 1 millimeter. I'm marking it right there, and the reason I tell you to use a pen, not a marker, it'll be too thick, and you want to get accurate lines with a pen. And remember, I flip this over through the backside, and that's where I'm going to cut it. This part of the wall, and what I told you guys again about common sense, knowing what this is going to meet to, because some of your cuts are going to go flat and some of them will go this way. I'm actually going to go flat up against some Schluter trim at my shower, and when I cut this, I'm going to go upstairs and show you guys what I'm talking about. I've got my line set where I'm going to cut right there, but I only got one hand, so I can't do it while I'm recording. Okay, so I'm going to cut this and show you guys. Cut the trim where it's backwards, because that's a more accurate measurement, being that you are taking measurements from the back side and not the front side. Due to 45-degree cuts, you don't measure it from here, you measure from the distance of the longest part touching the wall. So there's the flat piece that we put in up against the Schluter trim. Don't mind the extra caulk or whatever that is, drywall compound that we put in. So I got it linked up. I knew that this area here had a 45. Like I said about that common sense thing, you can't buy it, you gotta have it. But there's the flat side there, and that's how they meet up. This is not as hard as you guys think. As long as you follow the instructions, cut it from the back side, have a chop saw that's gonna cut at a 45, you can get these perfect cuts. And even if you're a beginner, you do trial and error and keep trying it. These boards are only, what, $5 for a 9-footer? Even if you make 2-3 mistakes, you'll get it right the next time. And if you're off just a hair, you could always use some white caulk. Always caulk your seams, you're supposed to do it anyways. And if it's off just a little bit, that's what you could do. Make sure that you're gonna shoot these in about that much or lower to shoot it in with a nail gun, which I have in my garage. Then I'm gonna shoot all these so they get sucked up against the wall. Like I said, it's not as hard as you guys think. And it gives it a nice clean look when you're putting in trim. You don't gotta pay thousands of dollars to somebody to come out and do it. I mean, I've cut this in about 15 minutes. That's how easy that was. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. Give me a thumbs up.